Alright folks, and welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Donfather and this is hashtag AFL Car Chat. You're very welcome to today's review. It's between Richmond Tigers and Port Adelaide Power. Richmond going into this game were in 5th and the Power were in 9th. And this is round 18, 20th of July 2019. It was played at the MCG and Richmond are going to have the joy of playing here for the next few weeks. So it very much looks good for them. I predicted a Richmond win. They're on good form. They're getting a few players back. I've said it quite a lot recently. Their best players are now starting to come back from injuries and time out. Just at a very good time for them. They found themselves in the top 6. Who knows how far this team could go. I mean, they really are playing good stuff. The style of footy they play is very much in handballing it to each other. A nice, cool, relaxed feel about the way they play. They don't seem to ever rush anything, and the Power's consistency going into this is win loss, win loss, win loss. So they're very much all over the place, but I just thought that this game was going to be too much for the Power going into it. So anyway, first quarter, go through the goal scorers. Prestia, Lynch, Martin, Rewalt and Graham, and Zach Butters got 2. They really did take a commanding take good command of the first quarter, Richmond. I think this was probably one of their better quarters in the whole match. And that was pretty much the note I put down. Very impressive first quarter. The Tigers playing a quick handball game from back to front in defensive positions. They never forced it, never kicked it long. Like they weren't kicking for territory. They were playing through the field with a lovely handball game. There was always somebody there to receive the ball. They were working very good off the ball for each other, and they do it so smoothly, and it just flows lovely like water the way they play. They're really enjoyable to watch actually at the handball game. Probably one of the best in the league. Zach Butters did score 2 for the Power, back to back. A nice snap one, I think, over the shoulder as well, if I can remember rightly. But he made an unbelievable mark as well for one of his goals. No, sorry, Butters. No, it wasn't Butters. No, I'm getting confused now. It wasn't Butters. But anyway, 2 good goals anyway to try and keep the Power in it. The quarter did finish 34-16. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But very much commanding first quarter anyway for Richmond. So going into the second anyway, again I would give Richmond this quarter. They did kick better in the second quarter, but I think they imposed their style of footy. They played the way they wanted to play. They weren't rushed by anything. Again, a lovely handball game from back to front. Seems to be the feel of the match. They really did just control it from start to finish, but we'll get to that. Rewalt got 2, the big man. And Maribel Chow, whatever way you pronounce his name, I'm not too sure how you pronounce it, but he was actually pretty good. He's a big focal point up top, isn't he? He does a lot around the midfield and the ruck area and the rucks as well. I quite liked his game today. I thought he played pretty well. He got in and about it. Charlie Dixon, the big man up top for the Power, got 1, and Carl Amon, he got 1 as well. And my notes for this quarter were a bit more of an arm wrestle. Richmond still playing a lovely quick handball game, which I said is the feel of the match really. 53-30 going in at half time. I think the Power were coming into it a little bit more in this quarter, but still finding themselves a little bit behind. You never felt, I think if you were a Tigers fan, you would never have felt any pressure thinking their comeback was on. Still, the ball was very much in their court, in my opinion. So anyway, into the third. We'll go through the goal scorers again. Tom Lynch was one, the big man who plays up with Rewalt. They had a great game together today. I thought they really have an understanding up there. I think their forward line right now for the Tigers is starting to find a bit of a game together. The way the wingers come in and the midfielders come in helping them. Players like Dusty and Prestia just in at the back of them. They really do seem to be firing on all cylinders right now. But Tom Lynch got 1, Brando Ellis got 1, Jason Castagna and Soldo, the big man. It's quite good to see him score. He had got up very well, and he made a nice, well, pretty straightforward kick, but it was good to see him getting a goal. Thought he was hurt with his landing, but he got up and he kicked it nicely. So goal scorers for the Power, Howard, Duursma and Eamon again with another one. But Duursma, that's who I was thinking of. He went up lovely for the mark in the third. He's a slight fella, isn't he? He's not very big built, but he does have a bit of a spring in him. And you know what? He's very, very influential in things that the Power do. For such a young and slight guy, he does have an awful lot of say in games. And when he's not playing, it does seem to affect results when you watch the Power. When he's out, they don't produce as much goods, albeit we'll get to the overall score at the very end. But 30-point lead going into the fourth quarter, so three-quarter time was 79-49 in favour of the Tigers. 4 goals to 3, a couple of behinds as well, but they really were starting to impose themselves a little bit more. And the theme of the game, handball game, not forcing in it, not kicking up field for territory, not making huge marks, just playing a nice controlled game exactly the way they wanted, using the width of the field, moving for each other lovely off the ball. Just a lovely flow to the way they play. Really low game, you know. It is just a controlled style that they have, and it's pretty much a joy to watch as well. So fourth quarter then, go through the goal scorers. Lynch, Edwards, Rioli for the Tigers, and for the Power, Sutcliffe and Rockcliffe. Rockcliffe actually had a decent game as well, but Boak was quiet. Again, there's a player that you want to see as your captain. He was out a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. You can't blame one player. It really was just much of a performance from Richmond rather than a poor game from the Power. I think Richmond really imposed themselves the way they wanted to play, put their authority on the game. And the Power really just couldn't come to terms with it. They did kick. I mean, it wasn't a shocking performance from the Power, but I think the Tigers are just really, I think it's momentum. I think they feel good. The way they were celebrating each other's goals from people away back in defence were celebrating the goals up top. It seems to be a good happy vibe right now at Richmond, and I think they're all playing for each other, and you can see it in the way when somebody's got a ball, someone's moving, they're constantly working hard off the ball. Great team spirit, and as I said, their next few games now are all going to be at the MCG, so it is a very, very good time to be a Tigers fan. I think that's 4 wins in a row now for them. It finished 101-63, 38-point score margin. Again, my main note was fantastic handball game. Tigers really deserved the win. I think they bossed every quarter. I mean, some quarters were a little bit closer than others, but they really did. They were in charge. You never felt at one point that the Power controlled anything. I think they were always very much responding to something the Tigers had done. They weren't advancing in any of the quarters where you thought maybe they're going to come into it now. Didn't feel that once. I felt that the Tigers were in control every single quarter, and they just went through the motions in the fourth quarter and got the job done. I'll go through a bit of player stats just quickly. 2 goals for Eamon, 2 goals for Butters. I'm not going to go into too much on the Power. Wasn't a bad performance, wasn't a great performance. It was just very much a performance. Not a lot of talking points really. My star man today, my man of the match was Presty, and maybe not a lot of people's going to pick him, but we'll go through his stats to prove why. He got a goal, 30 disposals, 6 marks, 14 handballs, kicks 16 and 1 behind. Martin was another man that could have been up there for man of the match. 1 goal, 30 disposals, 3 marks, 15 handballs, 15 kicks, no behinds. Rewalt with 3 goals, Lynch with 3 goals, and Rewalt had 10 disposals, 5 marks, 0 handballs, 10 kicks. Lynch with the 3 goals, as I said, 19 disposals, 9 marks, 6 handballs and 13 kicks. I was very impressed with the wee man up top there, playing in and around. As I said, they really do help the big forwards. It's the movement, it's the marks that gain territory, but it's the movement off the ball I was impressed with Presti, always making himself available. As I say, 30 disposals, 6 marks. He imposed himself on the game. He had a lot of a say in today's game, and I like the way Richmond play. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a mark, I love a specky. I love when somebody gets really high up and makes a wonderful specky. I think the best specky of the game was probably Duursma, to tell you the truth. Really got up high and won the ball and made the kick after it. But if you can get a good handball game, I mean, they were intercepting in their own 50 and around their own goal square, Richmond, and managing to make like 5 and 6 handballs and found themselves up near the opposite team's goal square. It was slick, it was quick, it was deliberate. It was just so silky smooth. It flowed like water. It was a pleasure to watch, and I think they're the best team in the ladder at doing it. But all their players are coming back. All their games now are at the MCG coming up for the foreseeable future, and that's 4 wins in a row. It's a very, very good time to be a Tigers fan. My 2 teams right now that have been kind of coming into it as dark horses, or as smokies, I think as it's called in Australia, is Richmond and Essendon. Do not write these 2 teams off. The Lions have showed you what a few wins in a row can do for confidence. They've found themselves in 3rd in the ladder now with GWS coming up against Collingwood. I've predicted, I think, Collingwood win there. It's at the Giants Stadium, isn't it? But I predicted a Collingwood win. If that doesn't happen, then I think the Giants are going to slip further down. These 2 teams are leapfrogging them. So, as I said, do not write these 2 teams off. Essendon look good. Richmond are looking better at the way they play the game, and they've got a lot of players. I suppose Essendon, I think, they're going so well right now as well, and they've arguably 5 starting players out. I think they've got 10 players out, but 5 guaranteed starters out as well. So when these players come back, who knows what these 2 teams can do. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of their weekend's footy. I'm going to go away now and watch Giants Collingwood. I think Carlton are going to get the job done there. Fair play to the Suns. Are putting a bit of a battle on right now as we speak, but I think Carlton will get the job done. That'll be 3 wins on the row for my predictions, because Essendon got the win and I predicted a Richmond win here. I presume Carlton will get the job done right now as we speak, and let's see what happens with the Giants, Collingwood, and other games to come. There is a couple of close games to call, but I'm confident that a lot of my predictions are going to come in this weekend. But if I get 9, I'm going to run about the house with my top around, celebrating like mad, because I've got my friend Dylan, Port Adelaide supporters, put a bet on for me for my 9 predictions, and he's kindly donating any winnings off my predictions back into the channel. Thanks very much for watching my review of Richmond Port Adelaide. Commiserations to Port Adelaide as always, to the losing side, but congratulations to Richmond. You really are going strong. It's looking good for you the next few weeks. Keep up the form, and who knows what could happen. Go Tigers! Yellow and black! Brilliant stuff. Really enjoyed the game. Great opening day game for the weekend, for the Saturday games. And don't forget, guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing loads and loads of AFL, loads of passion involved in it. Absolutely love it. Put the notifications bell on as well so you don't miss any of our future uploads. That's where people go wrong. They miss our videos because they don't put the notifications bell on, and YouTube aren't alerting you. Really, really annoying me right now recently with the algorithms. But anyway, also, you go into the description section below and you can check out all of our social media platforms, etc., and how you can donate and fund and support the channel financially. Thanks again. I am the Donfather. Peace, everyone, and have a great weekend. See you soon.